Hi, this is Jeff Zeig, and I'm in my office in Milton Erickson Foundation in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're now doing Series 2, 2018 series, of 5-minute therapy tips, 5-minute tips for therapists. So thank you for joining me. It was our first year. It was very successful. We're continuing the second year. And I thought the topic that I would talk about is a topic that I'm currently working on for a book. It's a topic called attunement. Now, attunement could be considered the social, physiological, psychological basis from which empathy happens. Therapists, for example, every therapist learns how to be empathic. The patient comes in and says, I'm feeling sad, and the therapist has a reflective empathy, a verbal empathy, and says, well, seems like you're feeling a little down today. And the purpose of bringing forward the understructure of the emotion is to allow the patient to continue to explore at deeper and deeper levels some of the emotion about the problem that's bothering them. So if a patient came in and said, it's really a beautiful day, the therapist could reflectively, empathically reply, you're feeling good today. And that would be bringing forward from the communication, from the understructure, the emotion, and reflecting it back verbally. Now, one of the topics that we've been talking about in our first series is how to take something good and make it a little bit better, how to take something and make it more three-dimensional, how to take something and make it more experiential. And attunement is a unconsciously coordinated social response. Now, that response could be generated in an intentional way by the communicator. There's research about attunement. It's a scientifically studied phenomena. And if you Google social mimicry, you'll find the work, for example, of Tanya Chartrand at Duke, who has studied extensively the social psychology of social mimicry. And this demonstrates that if you do social mimicry, you can increase responsiveness, you can increase likability, you increase rapport. So I have practiced this in psychotherapy so much that I don't even think about it anymore immediately when I'm meeting a client, because I really want to understand something about their experience. I do attunement. So what I've done is I've asked one of our staff members, Rachel, who does marketing for the Erickson Foundation, graphic design, if she would come into the picture for a minute and pose as a patient, because social mimicry, attunement is something that needs to be demonstrated. It can't just be discussed. So Rachel, come in and we're imagining that you're the client. Okay. So as Rachel comes in, actually she did a little bit of social mimicry with me, because she placed her hands on her lap in a way that is parallel, and my hands are paralleling her. Rachel is tilting her head just a little bit to her left, so I'm tilting my head a little bit to the right. Now Rachel has a breathing rhythm, and so I can coordinate myself with her breathing rhythm, and I can be saying my words as Rachel is exhaling. Now, when we're doing this so obviously, and I'm talking about what it is that I'm doing, then it makes Rachel self-conscious. So we wouldn't want to do social mimicry in a way that made somebody self-conscious. We wouldn't want to do attunement in a way that made somebody self-conscious. But if we waited and we used a 1-second delay and didn't do exact mirroring, but somewhat close. So for example, if Rachel is sitting with her left foot slightly in front of her right, maybe I would move my body similarly. And I'm attuning myself to her. And the reason for attuning myself to her is I really want to have her feel comfortable and at ease. Now, I can attune myself to the blink rate that Rachel has and attune my eye blink to her eye blink. Now, that would probably be something that would be outside of her awareness, as timing my words to the rhythm of Rachel's breathing. And that would probably be something that would be outside of her awareness. But this creates a rapport, and it creates a likability, and it's been studied extensively in scientific psychology, in this area of social psychology that I've been talking about. Now, let's return to this idea of attunement as a basis of empathy. Attunement is a limbic kind of communication. It is hardwired into the social system. It's why geese flock, it's why cattle herd, it's why fish school. This is an automatic response where you are responding without the necessity of conscious mediation. This is built into the system. It's part of our evolutionary design. When we use limbic communication, we are speaking at a more experiential level. Limbic communication is where problems live. Problems do not live in cortical layers. Problems live in limbic layers. We communicate limbically to help people to realize their capacity to change in a psychotherapy situation. So we'll continue. This is Jeff Zeig, and with another 5-minute therapy tip. Thank you so much.
You know, we're such a powerful force in our clients' lives. When they come and they trust us, they bring that vulnerability to us. And then can we hold that hope at a time when they can't? Can we know how to create the direction for them when they can't?
As long as men's train, women are living with it and just say that's how he is and that's how men are, you know, we can preserve patriarchy intact. And so part of this conversation is maybe this is the beginning somewhere yet again of the end of patriarchy.
In this moment with you right now, what am I going to be loyal to? Am I going to be loyal to my grudge? Am I going to be loyal to my point, my righteous indignation, my wounds, my triggering? Or am I going to be loyal to you and to this relationship?
The victim can say, I just can't do this, I hate you, I can't be near you, can't touch you. That can happen. But wait, the perpetrator can say, I don't dig this any longer, I don't want to be the bad guy, I don't want to be the person who's always being angry at. They could get out of this thing too. So the therapist has to really hold these two. But if you want to hang in there, if you want to do this, I promise you, this relationship will be unlike it ever was. I promise that.